Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to pre-match build-up here on the Rangers Rabble. As you can see, there's only two people on screen. The two most handsome people, I must say.
Absolutely.
That are involved with the Rabble, myself and Brian. Brian, how are you?
Good, thanks. Rather strange sitting at home, not being at Ibrox, but been to the last 5 fixtures, so yeah, I'll sit this one out today.
Finances.
Yeah.
We will be joined shortly by Mr. Ross Clark, as my dog tries to break into the room that I'm in. But we will be joined shortly by Ross Clark. We are here, of course, to build up to a league game, Brian, which after the week we've just had feels strange.
Yeah, it's going to be a funny one after the quiet week that we've just experienced. But no, always look forward to a game back at Ibrox. So looking like a lovely day. So hopefully the team will perform.
Yes, well, there's not much that could put a dampener on things. Oh no, here we go. Okay, here we go. Mr. Ross Clark, how are you?
Hello. What's happening?
You did say 2 minutes after 2, and you kept your word, mate. So fair play.
I've not even looked at the team, boys, so don't expect anything from me for the first couple of minutes. I'm just right now diving on to see.
You look at the team while I do the advertising. How's that sound?
Scott Wright's on it. I'm away off. I'm done.
So before I go for a run through the team, if you are watching on YouTube, please do like and subscribe. We are now 81 members strong. So if you want to join and become a member of the Rabble community, please do. We have Rabble members show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. as well. As soon as we reach 100 members, we're going to do a Q&A where every single question is on the table, including Martin, who is your barber, which I think everybody wants to know. Because my hair's always tragic. So yeah, like and subscribe, share the show, join as a member if you're in a position to do so. If you're watching on Twitter, give us a wee retweet and a like and a wee comment on Twitter as well. Because we do get the comments through for Twitter, although we don't get many. And we are closing in on 6,000 subscribers as well. So make sure if you're not already that you subscribe as well. So the Rangers team today to face Ross County at Ibrox is pretty much the same team that faced PSV on Wednesday. McLaughlin in goal, back four, Tavernier, Goldson, Sands and Barisic. In the midfield, we've got Tillman, Lundstrom, Lawrence, and we have Wright, Kent and Cholak up front. Ross, your thoughts? One change, right, for Kamara. Your thoughts?
No, I think it's expected because obviously we can do more or less a full squad rotation through the week, I would imagine. So, possibly 2 seconds.
Possibly 2 seconds. Right.
That was me ordering a Red Bull. Nicole's just nicking out to the shop. So just when I seen you with one there, I thought better get a Red Bull in. No, I thought we might keep the same team to get some minutes in the legs, with a view to a full squad rotation midweek. So not too surprised, but.
Did that comment throw you there, Ross?
It did. I was trying to think of somebody that died several years ago. I could say was your barber, because don't look as if you had a fresh trim in about 6 years. But, I forgot what I was going to say. I'd keep doing this all the time now. I'm getting old, Martin. I'm not used to the pressure of holding this podcast together. It's going to take me a few weeks to get back into it.
It is, and if you don't hurry up, then we're going to fold. So you better get your arse in gear.
No, what I was going to say is the Scott Wright thing. I think by this point in the season, Sakara, if you're maybe looking for somebody to play on the right, I'd maybe give Sakara or somebody like that a shot. I think Wright's had a couple of chances at it. I think the fact Matondo is again overlooked, maybe a concern. Maybe he's giving him time to adjust, the same as Yilmaz, but I'd say if we're playing Scott Wright ahead of him, that might be a concern for me that Matondo's maybe not up to it.
Well, look, Brian, Ross kind of nails it.
Shock.
Shock horror. Brian, Ross nails it. I don't think many people were expecting many changes. So you only see one. I think it's probably right for Gio to try and keep that consistency and stuff. So your thoughts on them only making one change, and then also what Ross touches on there with regards to Scott Wright coming in and not Matondo or Fashion.
Yeah, I mean, the
Gio,
only other change I
Gio
probably
trusts
thought.
him, Brian. Gio
Sorry?
trusts him. Gio trusts Scott Wright.
Yeah, he does. He likes him. So it's. I mean, I know Matondo started against Hibs last week, but it wasn't his greatest showing, to say the least. He wasn't very good at keeping the ball. Very much hot potato stuff. It wasn't very good. So yeah, he likes Scott Wright. He's used him a lot. He trusts him, obviously. The only other change I thought he might make was maybe Yilmaz playing left back, but that I wasn't expecting many changes. So yeah, it's much and such, and I suppose it's good reward for the players that done well midweek that they've been given the starting slot again today. After a good result away at Eindhoven, you don't really want to upset the apple cart too much. And as Ross says, we've got midweek against Queen of the South to do major rotations if we really have to. So yeah, I expected maybe 1-2 at the push, but one's fine.
Does it say much though, Ross, for the likes of Yilmaz, etc., that Yilmaz brought in for what to Rangers up until Wednesday was a lot of money. Now it's just pocket change. But Yilmaz was brought in. Yes, that's Ross Wilson in the nightclub, didn't it? Giving it a bit of that.
Giving it all that to the bubbly 40 and that dirty animal, he's a wee animal. It's that wee cute face, It's that wee cute face.
He knows what he's doing. But for people like Yilmaz and that, it's not necessarily surely that Gio doesn't trust them. Is Gio just waiting on the right time to bring them in?
Well,
and by the way, Ross, is Queen of the South an easier game to bring Yilmaz into than Ross County Ibrox?
Yeah,
I would say so. I don't just think Yilmaz will come in, mate. I think we'll have a full squad rotation for that game ahead of the game at the weekend following. To rest some players.
I don't think that's a big game after that, but because I don't know who it is, I don't think it's a big game. So it's
against Diddy's obviously, but Yilmaz will come in when the last 3 or 4 years have shown us that Borna Barisic is hot and cold. Mm-hmm. So when Barisic is hot, the same as I've said about Cholak, the same as I've said about MD, who's playing well in the team. If you're playing well, the place in the team's yours, and it's up to whoever it is who's sitting on the sidelines to knuckle down at training, get himself fit, sharp, and be ready to come in when the time comes that maybe you're not playing as well. So Borna, I don't think he's been great for a full 90 minutes yet, but he has played well in spells. He's set up a couple of goals. So I think that when Yilmaz gets in the team, Borna will struggle to get back in, based on what I've seen and read and heard about Yilmaz. I don't try to kid on that I'm a Turkish football expert, a Turkish kebab expert, but not a Turkish football expert. So I think when Yilmaz gets in, his consistency will keep him in ahead of Borna, but up until the time Borna starts playing badly, then. And hey, listen, it should give us 11 players against Queen of South. I would imagine there will be a host of changes. You should have 8-9 hungry players on there wanting to look and say, look, this is what I can offer you if the first 11 aren't playing as well. So it's a very good position to be in.
Listen, it's a great position to be in. But just finally, Brian, on the whole left-back situation, regardless of how much you bring in Yilmaz for, Ross has touched on it, Borna's playing well. So unless it's for a rest, then there's no chance that he gets dropped.
No, I've always been I think I've said before in the past, I've always been a believer that the back four, and certainly the back five, should be as consistent as you can get. So yeah, not dropping Borna today is a good decision because he's playing well. He's got his confidence a wee bit higher. But I've always been a big believer the back five should be as consistent as possible, barring injuries or suspensions. So yeah, Borna's playing well, so you've just got to keep him going because I don't think dropping him would do much good either for his confidence. So he's one of those guys that just needs to keep playing while he's hot.
And that's what Michael's saying in the comments. Borna's playing well overall, and he's fired up at the moment. So why on earth would you take him out of that? Cammy's saying that's it. Martin goes the big question for the preview show is
who's between the sticks against Queen of the South.
That's McGregor, isn't it?
But, hear me out, Martin.
Okay.
McGregor's time at Rangers has been and gone. Surely McCrory should be getting bled into the cup games.
I mean,
so,
this is build up to Ross County, Ross. You know.
I know, but I'm just throwing it in there. I'm just subtly just laying the eggs so that by the time that comes, we've got a full blown debate on 40-year-old McGregor stealing a squad space after a young boy. All right.
Oh dear.
Thanks for coming back, Ross. It's been much appreciated. All right, okay. You will get your wish, Ross. Believe me for day one. If McCrory doesn't play on Tuesday, Brian, very quickly, because I do want to touch on the game, is that saying something if McGregor does play?
Yeah, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? If a kid can't get a game in a cup game against Queen of the South over a 40-year-old, there's something far wrong. So, yeah, it won't be a very good sign for McCrory if McGregor gets ahead of him, certainly.
Right, okay, let's put that conversation to bed. That will be for Monday. I think we do that many shows. I think we do like 7 shows a week.
Do 7 shows a week, and since you managed to rope me back in, I've been doing 9 a week somehow. I don't know how.
You are the essential super sub.
Mate, listen, man of all roles. The utility man. Utility man.
Dale's saying in the comments, I don't like your attitude towards Ross, Martin. If you'd ever met Ross, right, he's about 6'2" and built like a tank. So see when me and Ross are in company, I'm always very polite to him.
He is. I pat him in the head and that, like my wee brother. Like that. Come on.
This way, Martin. Right, so looking at the team, Ross, and I'm looking at the midfield. Tillman, Lundstrom, Lawrence, I would imagine will be that midfield three. To me, that screams that we've only got one defensive mid in there.
Yeah, it looks like maybe even like a 4-1-4-1. Aye, that's what I was going to say. Lundstrom's sitting with you, rather than having 2 sitters and 1 forward in the triangle, he's inverted it, so he's got 1 sitter and 2 pushing. Lawrence and Tillman, aye. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing the 2 of them central. I think that's where the 2 of their best positions are. And do you know what? Maybe having an extra option up there will help with Scott Wright being able to find a man, because there's 2 people in there. He's got more chance, surely.
Brian, is that our best midfield three?
On current form, you probably argue it is, but I mean, I thought Kamara played marvellous against Eindhoven. I thought he played really, really well. So, I wouldn't say it's like, maybe for the SPL, it's probably our best trio to play, because you've got 2 attacking midfielders and you've got 1 holder. I think CGM mentioned it in the comments earlier that he's pleased to see only 1 defensive midfielder. And I think a lot of us have been screaming. A lot of us have been screaming for just 1 defensive midfielder at home in the league. So it's a better formation, I think, for the SPL, because we've got 2 creative players in there now that can unlock. Hopefully, because let's be honest, we're gonna face another low block today. It's gonna be another patient. We're gonna have to be very patient today until the first goal comes in, because it could be, it just depends. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna go 6-4-0, but it's gonna be 5-4-1 at the very best. So it's gonna be we've just got to remain patient today until the first goal comes, because it could be frustrating early doors, but it's until the deadlock's broken, it's certainly.
Well, see, the thing is, Ross, I keep saying Ross and then Ross County. It's really confusing. I don't like the manager. Right? Don't like the man. After his comments and his past history, etc., etc. But he is doing.
I don't even know who that manager is. Is it Malky Mackay? No.
It is, yes.
Is it? I thought it was. I couldn't remember if it's still that David De Gea lookalike guy.
No, it's Malky Mackay. But I don't think anybody in their right mind could turn around and say that he's not doing a good job with Ross County, because he is. He's doing a fabulous job with the resources that he's got. So I don't look at Ross County coming to Ibrox, and it's not like the olden days with like a Hamilton or something like that, where
6 or 7.
There's going to be no threat for them going forward at all.
Am I right in saying they managed to hold on to the boy Charles Cook?
I don't know.
No, he's
Regan
away.
Charles
No,
Cook.
he's away,
Did he
he's
leave?
away,
Did he
he's away.
leave? I thought they managed
I
to
think he
keep
went
all
to
of them.
Belgium.
Right. No, there is some good players there, but again, the team we are playing is essentially
100%.
a Champions League level team, Martin. If you can't beat Ross County, then
No. I'm
we're
just
in
saying.
trouble.
Just
But
the point I'm
they've-
making is they
they
will
should-
hit on the break. They will look to score.
well, see if they look to score, that means they're going to leave space for us to go and exploit. I'd like to see us going out and scoring first 15 minutes, get a goal, settle the crowd, and then just go and enjoy the game from then on in. Seem to not be scoring many quick goals. By the way, if you can hear munching in the background, Coles gave the dog a stick. He's absolutely chewing a bone to death right beside me. She's not learned the etiquette of podcasting yet.
No.
So she'll be getting sat down and spoke to.
Does she know how popular we are and how many people watch this live? I don't think she quite realises.
I don't think she does, but she's one of them, isn't she? So she wouldn't
yeah.
know what success looks like.
The man of the moment, Brian, Mr. Sands. The defence hasn't changed at all. Will this be one of the easier, after what I've just said about, Ross County will look to break and score a goal.
Yeah.
This should be one of the easier games for our defence at home.
You would like to think so in some respects, because when certainly teams outside the sort of Hearts, Hibs, them, they don't tend to attack very much. They sort of sit in and try to frustrate and then hit on the counter attack. So, it should be a reasonably quietish afternoon, but we've got to remain, vigilant that Ross County have upset big teams before. They've caused us problems in the past. So we've just got to be very positive today. Go for the dagger, and just go for them from the minute go. This is the sort of games now that we really need to be winning and winning comfortably. You can't, as Ross says, you can't go away to Eindhoven and beat them and then come home and struggle against County. With all due respect to them, but you've got to be looking at these fixtures.
Do not respect any team in this league. Do not ever say with all due respect to them. I know that's where you live, right? Yeah. But no respect to any team in this league.
I said with all due respect.
Which is none.
Yeah. But at the same time, you've always got to be wary. It's, as I say, they have caused us problems in the past. Hopefully the Euro hangover doesn't kick in. They're buzzing after the midweek with a draw coming out yesterday. So, we've just got to be this morning the draw came out. So, it's a case of just doing what we do normally, being patient, and the chances will come. It's just a matter of, is Cholak or whoever's in the position to finish them.
Which he will be, because that's 5-5 for Cholak. Yeah. Ross, European hangover, any possibility of that?
It's always a possibility, isn't it? But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't see it being allowed to happen. I don't envisage any European hangover, especially as the big man says after you've had the draw and stuff. We're only going to be on an upward trajectory, surely. And see now, I'm looking at, we've obviously got this 11 who seem to be the first choice 11. Obviously Kamara for Wright, because he's in no way part of the proper first 11, okay? But if I'm looking at the ties we've got coming up, there's absolutely no way I'm letting my standards drop just because I'm playing Ross County when you know that you're a first pick and with the fixtures coming up.
Yeah.
That's the biggest point for me, Brian, and that's what I think. Possibly the Champions League brings more than the Europa League, even to where we were at the time when we were in the Europa League. I think just the possibility of playing in Europe's biggest competition, surely that motivates every player. And when I say every player, I also mean Scott Wright, because surely every player in that team has the opportunity to play themselves into that Champions League team, regardless of who they are, if they get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, if Scott Wright, Ross's favourite player goes on and scores a hat-trick today, he keeps his place in the team,
Do you know what? Do you know what the thing is, mate? See if Scott Wright comes on today and scores a hat-trick, I'll be really happy for him. I don't hate the boy. I don't dislike the boy. I think the boy goes on and gives it 100% effort. I just don't think he's got the quality and the decision making that we need to be going away to Anfield and having Andy Robertson up against him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? He's not got the. It's end product, mate. It's decision making and end product. And again, he's quite young, isn't he? He's only 22, 23. So he's got plenty of time to get better. Obviously, he's got the best hair in the team by a country mile. His hair's absolutely exquisite. So if his hair could match his decision making, I think we'd have a great player on his.
Curry, I think Curry agrees with you, Ross. He's saying, look, if Scott Wright could get a decision correct, he would be a first-class player.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. I think he's got the endeavour and he's the work rate and stuff. It's just like talking again. The last couple of minutes of games where you're hanging on and he's trying to take it to the byline and then dribble past people and lose it and we're all caught up. But it's just wee daft moments in the game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Ryan Kent is similar on the other side, so maybe you're being harsh on Wright.
Do you know what? That was the next person I was going to go to. was Ryan Kent. Big game for him today, I think. Ryan in Europe, phenomenal. Does the job that we really need him to do.
Yeah.
But league-wise, I think maybe he holds back a bit on his own ability. I think today, Ibrox, all the European stuff that's went in the past week, it's a big chance for him to come out and put on a real proper display.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly got a few pelters after his Hibs performance because there was several occasions where he was in a position to take a shot, even inside the box, and he elected to either pass it or try and set somebody
else. But in Europe, he shoots.
But that's what I'm saying. In Europe, if that was a European game, he would have definitely pinged it. So for what reason he decides that when he plays SPL, he's trying to set people up rather than be a little bit more selfish and shoot, I really don't know. But as you say, he is due us a performance in the SPL. But as I say, he's nobody's ever becried his work rate or his endeavour, as Ross says, but his finishing certainly leaves a little to be desired at times, and this is the sort of games today where he should just be looking at puffing his chest out, shoulders back, and saying, I'm going to destroy this team today. But as you say, in Europe, he seems to have that sort of attitude. It's just bringing that into the SPL.
Can I suggest as well that the game Kent missed on the left, Rabbi Matondo came in, played on the left, cut in on the right and set up 2 goals that game.
Yeah.
So I know we're talking about right and stuff on the right, but Matondo, you might find that Matondo coming in off the left could be something that works and Kent's place could be in jeopardy. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've got Lawrence as well, Ross, who can play on the left. It's probably his favoured position, by the way.
I like Lawrence right in the middle, mate. I like him right in the middle. I think for every game in the SPFL, this formation is the one that we should play. The 4-3-3 by 1 sitter, 2 forward.
So 4-1-4-1 possibly.
I'm not even talking about playing them at Ibrox. Once you go to Parkhead, possibly 2 sitters. But I don't think we should fear anybody in this league at Ibrox.
Is that a big decision then, Ross, that Gio's made today? Is this the first time we've seen a Rangers team at home go
playing
without
with a
midfielders?
Aye, playing with a handbrake off, aye.
Yeah.
Martin, I think that's been his instruction now, Ross, that we've got into that Champions League. He's seen the benefits of getting into that Champions League, and it's maybe just focused his brain a bit to go, no, we need to start improving in the league.
I think what could have happened is injury has paid to his hope of sitting with 2, because Kamara's injured. You would imagine Davis will get 90 through the week. I don't know. Maybe, listen, we've not been great in the league, let's be honest, with the 2 sitters. So we talk about his tactical nows and how he can change stuff up in Europe and that. Maybe he's just sat down and had a look and went, do you know what? If we're playing against absolute dross, why am I sitting? We're essentially losing a man. We said it last week. Ryan Jack was running about in the middle of the park. Wasn't he marking MD? Wasn't he betting because Lundstrom was doing the job for him? So see if Lundstrom's got the engine to do that for 2 people, then As you say, well, it's not as if they're going to play with 3 guys up the park. So we've got 4 defenders and 2 sitters, 6 players playing against 2 at the most. Doesn't make any sense.
You've got the magic man up front, Brian, Mr. Cholak, 5 and 5, scoring goals when perhaps he still doesn't even get the service that he should be getting. So just before we touch on Cholak, you've got Kent and Wright. Are they going to be able to give Cholak the service that he needs?
Well, you'd like to think so. Kent certainly was kind of assisted Barisic's assist at Hibs, and you want to see more of that. You want to see Borna going on the overlap and getting crosses in, because that's what he's best at. But certainly, as Ross said earlier, though, Wright's contributions in games is good. It's just his last minute, where he's going to cross it or where he's going to pass it to, last minute decision that just slightly lets him down.
Sorry, Brian, is that just him though, or should Tav be giving him a bit more help?
You could argue that, yeah.
Has Tav been as further forward this season as he usually has been?
Not particularly, no. I mean, he certainly used to play last season and probably seasons before as like a right mid sort of position at Ibrox. You know, he was given more license, I think, by Gerrard to get forward and do what he was good at. I think Gio's been a bit more pragmatic in his approach, and he's a right back, and get forward when a good opportunity arises, but don't just bomb forward at any sort of given moment, you know. But no, I think Tavernier could help Wright with his last minute decisions, because obviously Tavernier's assists and crosses is usually very good. So that's obviously an attribute that could help Scott Wright certainly improve. So yeah, definitely Tavernier could help him out.
I think that we've got an issue on the right, as we said the other day, whereby we're trying to play with an out-and-out right winger, which naturally gets in. Whereas Kent isn't looking to hit the byline and put crosses in left-footed. That's no Kent's game. Kent's either going to come inside, free up a man, or look to hook a ball in with his right foot. So you've got Barisic who's got the space beyond Kent to go and hit the byline. Yeah. On Tav's side, Wright's right-footed. Matondo's right foot. Matondo looks to me like a proper old-school winger. He wants to hug the touchline. Yeah. So Barisic should actually be your out ball all the time, because if Tav can't get into that space, Barisic is the one, as he proved for the Lawrence header the other week, he is your out ball all the time, and that's what frustrates people so much about Barisic, is he's got the talent to get himself forward there, but there's sometimes he just looks as if he's playing with a handbrake on. So maybe the day Scott Wright will maybe be asked to go inside to open up the wing for Tavernier, because I think in Cholak we've got a striker who, if you can put the ball in the box, he'll get you goals. But it's about how we get the ball into the box.
Well, I was just going to ask you that, Ross. So what way does this team, what way does Gio set this team up to get the best out of Cholak?
I think he's got to set the team up with Kent and Scott Wright in this instance, drifting infield in order to allow space for Tavernier and Barisic to get forward. There's no point in having the 2 best crossers of a ball and sitting in the halfway line when the other team's got 8, 9, 10 men in their own box. Mm-hmm. Like the day, we should be going for the throats and pushing them. If Kent and Wright are going inside, it's going to create spaces. So it's just about getting the ball down to the byline and anywhere kind of inside the level of the 18-yard box and getting crosses in the box. And you've got Lawrence, who's already proved he can score with his head. You've got Cholak, who looks as if he could score goals. So I think if we can get the ball into the box, even if it's scattering about, we've got players in there that can finish. And then Brenton to the edge of the box. Big Lundstrom's not too bad with the old
Well, do you know what?
left and right Duke also.
That is massive for us this season, Brian, because I'm looking, right, you've got goals in Tillman, you've definitely got goals in Lawrence. Ross has said you've got goals in Lundstrom as well, and Tav. Kent needs to improve. You've actually also got goals in Scott Wright as well. and of course Cholak. So
I can't believe I've just spoke about getting balls into the box, spoke about Lawrence scoring headers, and forgot to mention Michael Jordan. Big Tillman, Big Tillman. I never even mentioned him.
You know what I mean? So Brian, within that team, I was going to come on to, we'll have a quick look at the bench as well. But sometimes in games it doesn't go for strikers, right? And I think in the past we've been far too reliant on Alfie to score the goals. If Tav isn't doing it, there's plenty of goals in that team.
Yeah, I mean, you've just reeled off all the the players that are potentially goal scorers, and there's more than several in that. But as we've been saying, Kent needs to contribute a lot more goal wise. It's it's all very well saying he's getting assists here and assists that, but at the end of the day, when you pay $7 million for a winger, I can't remember who said it in the comments, but it's a lot of dough. You expect him to touch or getting double figures most seasons in the SPL, and I'm not sure he's done that at all. If certainly goal wise, but he certainly needs to up his goals. Definitely, and as I said at the Hibs game, he had 2 or 3 chances against Hibs, and he failed to pull the trigger for what reason only he'll know. So it's not as though he's not getting chances in the SPL; it's just he's not taking them. So yeah, he just needs to up it a good bit and get some goals. Definitely.
I'm looking at the bench, Ross. McGregor, Ridvan, Jack, Davis, Matondo, Fashion Jr., Arfield, King, and Devine. So obviously no Ross McCrory on the bench because they both have been on the bench as lately. So no Ross McCrory on that. If we're looking at that,
I think when they've only had one goalie in the league, it's always been McGregor. I don't think McGregor. It's in Europe when they've got a full bench to try and fill. Got all different people on the bench.
That would say to you that on Tuesday it'll be McGregor if McCrory can't get on the bench.
But it will be McGregor. I know it will be. But my point is, people going on about McCrory and that, surely this is his year to get the cup games. He's not getting any younger. His brother's now been in and about first team football for 5 years? Played all over. So are the same people saying McCrory's the future of Rangers, the same people that are going to be happy to see him sitting? I don't think he's good enough. I would play McGregor because I don't think Robbie McCrory's good enough for what I've seen of him.
See, for what I've seen of him, I do, but it's all about opinions.
It's all about opinions, mate.
So Ross, we're looking at this bench, right? So take the goalkeeper out of it.
Yep.
You've got Ridvan, King, and Devine as defensive options. Should not be an issue today against Ross County, but if you're looking at a bench that's got Ridvan, King, and Devine as its defensive options, if you have to change something, are you happy with that?
Happy with Ridvan and King. Where's the boy? Where's the Polish boy? Is he just...
Sikowski played for the B team the other night against Dumbarton and looked okay. He's bulked up something. He's had that special coffee. The guy's huge.
Right. Aye, so that's good then. So we're injecting him with the old coffee. I like to hear that. To hear that. But no, I think if you're looking at a bench, mate, we've got good options in defence. The boy King that looks as if he's been ready for 2 seasons to start getting bled into the first team squad. So I don't see us being under siege for Ross County. So you're quite happy.
Anything can happen in football.
Yep, anything can, but I'm quite happy that boy could come in and slot in at centre half if somebody were to be injured. I'd like to see the boy Zukowski being bred into the team this year.
Adam Devine plays in the same position and he's the one who's on the bench.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I'd like to see the boy Devine played last year. He played a couple of games at the end of last season. Aye. So you've got that in the midfield. You're not going to have 2 better options than Jack and Davis for bringing somebody on to change a game. Then you've obviously got your
Matondo and Sakala.
Matondo and Sakala. If you're looking to change something in the front three, I think Matondo can play left and right. Arfield can come in for any of the two boys central. Sakala can play essentially anywhere across that front four. It'll be good.
The only issue I see, Brian, and when I say issue, you've got to take into account who we're playing, injury situation, and of course we're not at the end of the transfer window yet. There's not really, apart from possibly Sakala, there's not really any cover there for Cholak, is there?
No, I think we said that, last time I was on. It's striking options is certainly what needs to be addressed before the window shuts, because we're going to certainly need another striker to support Cholak if Cholak gets a suspension or has an injury. Let's be quite honest. If it wasn't for Cholak this season, we'd be lost. Because Morelos has been less than sort of usable. And then we'd have probably had to use Sakala up front, and I don't think Sakala would have got the goals that Cholak's got. Mm-hmm. So Cholak's been an absolute godsend this start of this season, but he needs somebody else, because he obviously can't play.
Sakala scores goals.
Yeah, but
can our man Lawrence and our man Tillman not play up front? I'm sure Lawrence played games
Tillman
up front for
definitely
Derby.
can. Tillman definitely can, because Bayern brought him in as a striker.
So there you go then. So we've got 4. What are you screaming about?
I'm just pointing out strikers. That's what I'm pointing about, and I'm not greedy.
I would just love another striker in the building. That's all.
I'd like another striker in the building myself. But yeah, I know Curry. Did you see Curry Muncher's joke there?
No, and it's 25-3 on a Saturday afternoon.
It's been going about since Jesus was a lad. Honestly.
Don't get me started on that conversation either.
Terrible pattern. Terrible pattern,
right,
man.
People want to get to pubs. People want to get settled down for the game. So all that's left really is, Brian, prediction.
I am going to go Rangers 4, County 0, with Cholak getting the first goal.
Cholak. That's the easy option. Brian always takes the easy option.
Easy, Ross, but it's probably going to be right.
It's probably.
I was going to go 4-0 in Cholak, but seeing as Brian stole it, I'm going to go 7-0 in Tillman.
7-0 in Tillman. I love it.
Dear.
I'm going to go 3-0 and Tav. There we go. That's the way I'm going to go. 3-0 and Tav with a Cholak.
That's
double.
Another easy option, first goal scorer.
And a Cholak double. I gave you far more information. What are you on about?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'll say Cholak, Tillman, Tav penalty, and I reckon Matondo's going to come off the bench and score.
Now he's going to try and overshadow me. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to go for Tillman in the 8th minute with an overhead kick. John McLaughlin in the 14th minute with a sclaffed clearance from the left-hand side of the goal box.
Right, that's plenty. If everybody gets their predictions in, I will read through them once we end the show, and I'll try and pick out if anybody gets it right. But with that, we will leave you to go and get yourself sorted, get to the pubs, enjoy the game. Very quickly, somebody's asking the lineups. So it's McLaughlin in goal, back four, Tavernier, Goldson, Sands, Barisic, midfield three of Tillman, Lundstrom and Lawrence, and a front three of Scott Wright, Ryan Kent and Antonio Cholak. Subs are McGregor, Ridvan, Jack, Davis, Matondo, Fashion Jr., Arfield, King and Devine.
Somebody asked earlier, Martin, our old friend Don Robertson's referee today.
I'm really unhappy. I thought you were going to read the team line out in the form of the stadium announcer there, so we could all wait.
But no, just Don Robertson's our referee.
Don Robertson is the referee. There you go. Okay. Sponsored by Specsavers. Everybody enjoy the game. We will be back at half time. Myself, Brian, and JD will be back at half time, and then full time it will be JD, Ross, and Brian, which shall be fun. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at half time, and enjoy the game. And of course, I hope your team wins.